Finance being held on July 22nd, 2025. Opening the meeting at 7:03 p.m. Members who are present include Martha Azarisi, Lars Demander, John Grabowski, and Sharon Huxley on the chair. In addition, we have
Okay, it should be good.
Are we good now?
Mhm.
Okay. Our finance director, Leslie Bacigalupi. We have our recorder secretary, Veronica Novak. I'm sorry. Our first selectman, Sal Amadeo, and our director of facilities and public works, Don Shea. The first order of business is public comment. I do not see any members present. Are there any members of the, oh, wait a minute, is that Katie Erickson?
Yeah.
All right, online, we also have member Katie Erickson. In addition, online, we have Carol Goldberg. I think that's so far, and Donna Shea. So, do we have any members of the public who wish to comment? If you do, since there were only two of you there, just kind of, one of you start talking? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on. Okay. The first item on the agenda is the minutes of the May 13th, 2025 regular meeting. I believe we do not have oh, wait a minute, we do. I'm sorry. Huxley, Heiser, Azarisi, no, we don't. We do not have a quorum of those attending that meeting. So that will once again be tabled. The May 28th meeting, oops. That was May 13th. 28th, here we go. Present were Huxley, Heiser, Azarisi, Grabowski, and Erickson. So we have Huxley, Azarisi, Grabowski, and Erickson present. We're talking about the minutes of May 28th, 2025. Could I have a motion to approve? Okay, thank you. That was. Okay, thank you. The discussion. Anyone comments on the minutes? Anything you'd like to see changed? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
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 Abstain.
Okay, so it's the four of us who were there. Lars is abstaining. These notes from the ad hoc grant committee should not be in here. They've already been, the grant committee agreed by consensus that they represented what happened at the meeting, and they were filed with the town clerk. The same with the second meeting, I think it was on June 20th. And at that meeting, again, it was an ad hoc committee that was not going to meet again. So those notes were given to the town clerks, who just said they would just file them as informational items. Okay. Now, the June 20th meeting, present were Huxley, Heiser, Azarisi, Grabowski, June 20th, and Erickson. Okay. Anybody? A motion? All right. Moved by John Grabowski. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. And discussion? Anyone? I saw one thing. No, not in this one. Okay. All right, hearing none, those in favor say aye.
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 Those?
Abstain.
Abstain. Okay. Those one of these, I'm sorry, it may be in the it's in the May 13th. Could you review that for the dates for the budget meetings? It says for 2025, and I think we mean because they would be happening in 2026. And it would be the 27 budget that 25 would not be the right thing.
Okay, I will.
Okay. Yeah. And here we go. Now. The next, no, that's June 20th. There we go. I believe that we're at the point where we will take the finance director's report.
Okay,
Yes.
the 25 numbers are in front of you. They are not complete. They are as complete and as accurate as they could be on Friday when I put it all together. And there are still adjustments that will be made. There are still audit adjustments that will be made. And I cannot guarantee I have received all invoices for 25. So expenses could go up. Revenues could go up from where we are right now. I do not know. We are in the process of getting through everything right now.
Okay. So,
But right now, we are standing right where I anticipated the year being.
things that we are down almost 200,000 in revenue,
That is correct.
but we're also.
Revenue is under budget.
Mhm.
Expenses at the moment are currently also under budget. But every day I turn around, there seems to be another invoice from 25 that surfaces.
Okay.
Which is to be expected
This
at
time.
least through August 15th.
Mhm.
Because some things just take a while for the vendors to get the invoices to us.
Okay. Questions, anyone? Okay. Next.
Transfers.
Mhm.
As of right now, I am requesting 2 transfers. The first one is to move $10,100 from contingency to general legal fees due to budget overruns. A lot of that was because of the Mastriangelo matter with Attorney Marino, because that was billed separately from the retainer for last fiscal year. At the town's request, it was billed separately.
Mhm.
And because right now that expense line is over budget by exactly $10,100.
How much is that expense line, total then with the extra 10,000 if we were to transfer?
Okay, we budgeted $25,000. And right now we have spent $100 short of 35,000. We have spent the $35,000 on that line.
And is that line, exclusively for the fees associated with,
No, it is not
Attorney support?
exclusively for that.
Okay.
It is for all legal matters outside of the retainer. There were foreclosures that he assisted in. That's for assistance with land use matters.
Simpson. Yeah.
It's for all matters outside of the scope of the legal retainer. It does not include legal fees for open space acquisition. That is paid for out of the land acquisition fund. So those are separate, and they were larger last year than most years because of the purchase of 2 different properties. Because the 101 Russell and the Simpson property. And and that line does not include the investigative legal expenses. That has its own line item.
Okay, can I have a motion to make this transfer?
Make a motion.
Thank you, John. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, Lars. Discussion, additional discussion? Those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Katie?
Yes,
Okay. So yeah, all positive. And then the second one?
The second one is to move $10,280 from contingency to new equipment for the police department. I did not know until this year that the constables have been operating with their own personal weapons. They are using their own personal guns. And it was brought to my attention that should they need to be suspended or let go, we cannot ask for their gun. So the town issued guns, we purchased guns for all the constables so that there is a town issued gun that they have. Because anyone who is an officer of the law is supposed to have their gun on them at all times, even when they are not technically on duty. I know that only because my brother-in-law was a cop for 23 years. And he always had his gun with him. So that was not a budgeted expense because Dave made that decision during the year. We talked about it and he said, I can pay for it out of the private duty account. And I said, the town should be issuing those. I think it should come out of the budgetary, out of the regular budget. So that's why it was my suggestion that we use contingency funds for that, since he would go over budget. And he also purchased the laptop for a laptop for one of the cruisers, because he's trying to have them all outfitted the way they're supposed to be, which is a laptop in all of them. So that's why his department is over.
Okay. Any questions?
is there
Then could I have,
the proper, like, do they have the proper method of storing all the weapons and things like that? Do they need them?
They're town issued, so all the officers have them. I will work with Dave to make sure that there is proper storage somewhere should he need to retrieve them.
And there's just one for one, right? There's not.
One for one. Yes,
Okay.
there's 5 constables plus Dave, so there were 6 Glocks purchased during the year.
they all need to be traceable to the individual officer, don't they?
Correct. They must be traceable. They must be traceable to the officer that they are issued to.
Okay.
Because we can't, should something happen, should they be needed, we can't have multiple officers using the same gun.
Makes sense. Yeah, okay. All right, any other questions? Then could I have a motion to make this transfer?
A motion. I'll say.
All right, so Martha and John. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Next.
Well. The item I would like, 2 items I would like to bring up just under the informational section. The community school is currently having sidewalks and stairs replaced. They're in the demolition phase right now. They will be rebuilt before school starts. The funding for that is coming out of their non-lapsing account, or they had encumbered it out of the operating budget. They are not asking the town for additional funds. They are covering it within the monies that they have been allocated already. And in regards to Park and Rec, I just want to inform everyone here that Nicole has been averaging 55 kids a week for summer camp. And the kids seem to be having a wonderful time. It's very structured. It's very organized. They have a lot of policies, procedures, and streamlining was put into place before it started. And every Friday she is getting phone calls and emails is there room to sign my kid up for next week? So
All good.
it's all good.
Mhm.
That's it for that. Now we'll move on to grants. So Don, you are up.
LoSiP is a state grant program. It used to be done where they would keep the money and then we would ask to do a project, apply for it, and finish the project and then submit the bills and everything else. Last year, I believe, in January, they changed it to the town now just gets a check at the beginning of the year for the entire amount. Then we just have to tell them what we spent the money on. However, in the old entitlement, we have roughly $10,808 left in the old entitlement account. We're not sure when that has to be spent by, but we're sure that eventually they're gonna say, you haven't spent it, you lose it, sorry. Okay? So what we have to do, we have to come up with a project, fill out one of these forms, asking for money. When the project is over, fill out this form, send them the check, who did the work, da, 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 and ask for our money back. And if there's any money left over, we check this little box and they give us our money back. Okay, so right now we have about $10,800 in. So what I'm proposing to do, the lodge, as you guys know, where it's rented out quite a bit now. Just about every weekend, sometimes twice on a weekend. We're getting $500-600 a day for weddings and for stags and for parties and whatever. But the building is in, the interior, we did a lot of work the last couple of years, the exterior is in pretty rough shape. We started painting it, we painted the trim, we replaced some of the trim. We're in the process of getting rid of that big island in the middle of the parking lot, moving the telephone pole. The landscaping has been neglected. The garden club used to do it, but there are no more, so the landscaping, we try to clean it up as best we can, but the bushes are just so old and so beat up. I'm sure you guys have seen all that. So what I'd like to do, I'd like to complete the exterior painting. That's about $3,000 to spray the building, paint the siding, finish painting, whatever. Re-landscape, we'll do it ourselves. We're looking at about $2,000 to purchase new plants, new bushes, new shrubs, whatever. And another $2,000, the concrete entryway is cracked and beat up. We wanna take that up. Last year at Public Works, when we did the Public Works addition, we put a paper entryway in. Blocks, some nickel blocks, whatever they call them.
Looks very nice.
You saw it, look,
Yeah.
it's beautiful, beautiful, and Greg, who's one of our guys, did it. He's from the landscaping back, so he'll do the landscaping and he'll do the entryway. So we have a lot of stuff left over from that, so we need an additional roughly 1,800, I put down 2,000 just to round it up. To do the entryway and install the pavers. So that's 3, 4, 5, that's 7,000 to finish the exterior of the lodge, which will make a big difference. With the additional $3,808 left over. Park and Rec now is in full swing. They use the gazebo out in the backyard every day. The gazebo's in pretty rough shape. It's starting to rot. There's nails sticking through, it needs to be painted and cleaned up. So I'd like to use the additional $3,808 to replace rotted wood, power wash and paint the gazebo. They're talking about putting an addition on, we don't have 20 grand to put an addition on, but we can at least make it safe. Cause right now, and I told them they really shouldn't be in there if there's nails and things like that, because a kid gets hurt, then we're liable for that. So I propose to take the $10,808 and do those projects.
Okay. Did you the motion? Okay, Katie, question?
I have questions I can ask. I mean, if you want to do the motion first, I guess.
No, I did not, because I had surface information. Don came to me between 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock with the formal proposals, is because he has been working in connection with Tony and everyone else for the last
Mhm.
couple of days to pull it all together.
Okay.
Where is the funding coming from? I didn't hear that at the beginning. You said there's 10,000 somewhere.
Okay.
Where is that?
The old LoSiP program where the state would give the town, I believe it was $65,000 a year, give or take, it went up and it went down. the state would hold it. And then you would ask, come up with a project, ask for the money. Well, like this one, for instance, here, Heart Health Bethany. We did American AEDs, we bought 7 AEDs for various buildings in town. Okay, we come up with a price, Leslie and I did a lot of research, we came up with $19,000 ask to do it. In the meantime, we found savings and rebates and this and that, we ended up spending $13,481, we saved about $5,200 on that. So you ask the state for 19. Then when the project's over, you have to send them copies of checks and copies of this and copies of that, and then they reimburse us for the money we spent. So right now, there's $10,808 left in that account that they changed the format, now we get the money up front. We don't have to ask, we just have to tell them how we spent it, which actually you guys did at the town meeting, we spent most of it on various projects at the town meeting, if you remember. Fire department and things like that.
So it is LoCIP money
It's LoCIP.
that's been sitting out there. And the last time they apportioned LoCIP money under the old entitlement was probably 4 years ago.
Okay, so the ask right now, the first part of it would be a motion to approve the use of $7,000 for improvements at the lodge that's park. Do you want to act on that one and then the gazebo, because they're separate properties?
Okay,
Could I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, that was for $7,000. Or do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, John, comments on this use of the funds?
My
Okay.
only question is, and it's sort of back to the grant committee thing, is like, how are we prioritizing which projects need to get done, and like, who just based on, like, how are we deciding that this one is the project that we need to do with this money, like that's other than.
Okay, so Katie, this needs to be a local capital improvement.
Mhm. No, I understand.
And, okay,
And this
all
is
right.
this is the only thing. I mean, if this, it's just.
Well, the
Just-
gazebo also, but these are funds that are sitting there that we didn't use. So this is repurposing those funds. We haven't been asked to review anything else?
Don, did you suggest, were there any other options that were, that you reviewed?
Look, various properties in town, we've already pretty much gone through Center Station, obviously there's more that can be done, but nothing pressing. We've gone through Public Works, we've gone through the airport property, town hall property, the annex, everything is in pretty decent shape. Granted, there's always work to be done somewhere. But this project for the lodge, like I said, the lodge is getting way more popular now. I don't know if we're not charging enough or just there's more parties going on, but we're getting $500-600 for a Saturday night. And you walk up and you're walking across cracked concrete and these bushes are gross and it's just. We need to present ourselves a little better at the lodge, to get more bang for our buck, okay? As far as the gazebo's been, we built it, I don't know, it's gonna be 20 years, give or take.
Around.
We never really used it, it's basically just a fixture out in the field. But now with the new park and rec program, they're in it every day. With counselors and with kids, and it's been brought to our attention the last couple of weeks that it's not dangerous, but it's not safe, we'll put it that way. Okay, and we went out there with a hammer, and I was banging some nails in and pulling some nails out. There's 8 or 10 slats missing and rotted and things like that. So if we're gonna use the gazebo, we have to fix it. If we're not gonna fix it, then we should rope it off and tear it down. Cause if somebody gets hurt, then we're liable. It's not enough money to rebuild the whole thing, but it's enough money to make it look better and to be safe.
Right, so what's currently in front of us is just the lodge portion, the first 7,000. Are we ready to vote? Katie, are you ready to vote on this one?
I'm ready to vote, yeah.
Okay, then those in favor of this repurposing of the that 7,000 of LoCIP funds, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Then the next one is the gazebo, 3806, that's the remainder of the LoCIP funds, basically for maintenance, safety and routine maintenance on the gazebo.
Now,
Good.
can I make one quick point on that?
Yeah.
If it goes over. I have money in our budget, a little bit of money. I'd like to spend because if we don't spend $85, we're not gonna get the $85.
Okay,
We're not gonna spend money frivolously, obviously, but. If you write if we write a check for $4,000 and it's 3808, the state allows that. So they say how much of it is LoCIP and how much is regular funds. So that's what in 3808, and I don't have prices.
but
It's a nice structure. I think it should be.
Well, it's a
Yes.
beautiful structure, it just needs,
it's very useful
Maintenance.
for, I mean, Park and Rec uses it.
I've
and-
actually married a couple of people out
There you go.
And this is, I definitely think we should make the gazebo safe, of course. But it sounds like it's a maintenance activity, not a capital project. That was my only thought.
Well, the gazebo is a capital investment and the well, I don't know how. Does maintenance? No, because maintenance counts.
there. Oh, we've done all kinds of LoCIP projects doing.
Yes,
Anything that improves a capital item in town is eligible,
Correct, approved.
or buy a capital item. or
Mhm.
improve a capital item.
yes. I understand your point, Katie, but it does also fall under the LoCIP guidelines.
Okay. I would have classified repairing it as a maintenance activity, not a capital activity, but I defer to your expertise on that.
All right, could I have a motion then to repurpose this 3806?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, thank you to the gazebo. Do I have a second? Dan, thank you. All right, any further comments, questions? Okay, then those in favor? of the motion, aye,
Aye.
okay, so that also passes. And that way you're not digging into the 2026 budget.
Which we cut in half anyway. So.
Just-
I
Just-
was at the lodge a couple of weeks ago. Could use sprucing it. Yeah.
I mean, the first impression you get in the whole parking lot.
Is-
Looks like an old bank
Yes,
or
like this is
something.
getting a little tired.
So it's getting-
Yeah. It'll look nice.
Okay. The only thing I want to call to your attention under the informational items under grants is the grant that the Solid Waste and Recycling Committee applied for through DEEP for food diversion is a reimbursement grant should we be awarded that grant. So it will work just like the HUD grant where we will have to front the money and get reimbursed.
So,
But we do not know if it's going to be, if we will be awarded that grant, and we also do not know what all the fine print of that grant would be. So more on that to come when they make the award announcements.
so that would mean then that we would have to get the town meeting to agree to a temporary operating fund like we did for the HUD grant. When we reviewed it before, we were not aware of the fact that it was a reimbursement grant. We thought they were going to provide the money up front. So we're going to, whatever it is, will be out of pocket for the year or so that it
How
would
much
take
the grant for?
$100,000. I think it's like a round number of $100,000. Okay. Anything else?
No,
Okay. Under the chairman's report, really, Amity takes the month of July off. They'll be back back next month, as they're unofficially running over 500,000 surplus yet again. That's not final until their audit is complete, and the year was not yet, of course, closed at that time. It probably isn't yet. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have nothing under other.
Okay.
All right. Sal, at this point, we usually get a
Yes.
report from the first selectman. Well, if you have questions of us, or you want to tell
No.
us about anything,
No, I think
go for it.
right now it's, you know, busy, but quite. So,
Okay.
just getting my feet wet and.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right, well, you're welcome. Glad you're here. I'm glad somebody's here. Not meaning that in a negative way, just meaning we're glad. Oh, I should just keep my mouth shut. Okay. The next item is control and sustainability issues. Is it?
I believe it was our original meeting in early June that was scheduled for early June. I had sent out details on a refund policy for what each department is doing and how they view refunds. Please let me know if you do not have access to that so I can resend that to you. I would like to take that up for discussion at our September meeting so that we can look at that, thoroughly vet it, and determine if there is a need for any ordinance changed or something along those lines, that it can be referred to the selectmen for action.
Did you send that to us? Like it's in my email somewhere?
It should have been part of the packet. I believe it was the June meeting.
Okay, I can look
Yeah.
for that.
But I'm happy to resend it if anyone does not have it.
I
So
would
what
love for you
happened?
to send it if you don't mind, Leslie. I think it would be more convenient if it's,
Okay, I will resend it to everyone as a standalone document.
Perfect.
Word if possible.
Yeah.
I will see what I can do.
I think it started out. Actually, it may not have. So what we did was it started out with issues related to Park and Rec and their, what would be the right word, irregular accounting practices
Mhm.
and refund practices and billing practices and so on. But then we realized that we didn't know what other departments were doing. And that especially, well, some of them, especially land use, have very large fees that are sometimes refunded. And so we asked for information so that we could do something. And Leslie got information from some departments. Lena gave a very detailed review, but she wanted it all to go in the town code, including the dollar amounts, which I think the dollar amounts are, it was very specific, you know, it was, I think maybe the fees were specific. I'm sorry, I don't remember, but there were a lot of specifics in it, and it was going to be governed by code, which would mean none of it could get changed. The timing, who did the reviews, you know, what the terms were, or anything without going through a code review and so on. So that's what we're gonna look at in September. Okay. And how's Jen doing with her reviews?
I know my department is finished. She has asked for them all to be returned by the end of the month.
Okay. So we're getting there.
Mhm.
The BAA and fire department lease agreements.
I have the old lease agreements in my office. I will schedule a time to sit down with Sal that he and I can review them.
Mhm.
And we have to determine what is the best path to move forward on both of those.
Yes, separate.
Yes, they are two separate entities, but they do need to be looked at and reviewed. Because I don't know, I don't know when the last time was that they were looked at. That's that's for starters.
So we looked at them a year ago. but that
Well, I mean,
was
as far to
official.
updated, reviewed officially, i.e. by legal or actually enforced.
Yes, well,
That's what I'm referring to on that.
one of the things that anybody who was at the town meeting might remember when we were talking about the capital project for the fencing at the Hoppy Co-Francesco Field.
Yep.
And someone asked the question, does the town, because there was somebody who was on their committee, what does the town get for use of this property? And the answer was nothing. And so it just seems as if maybe there should be given, it isn't that it isn't something that's providing value for the town, on the other hand. You know,
Yeah.
it should be looked at. Okay, do we have any other business? Anyone? Okay, we are canceling
Attorney review as well, like, I just want to make sure that.
of what?
And it's a legal review of those as well. Do they have recommendation or?
Well, they haven't been yet.
They
They're just
haven't-
on the
right.
list. They have to
They
be
have not been yet. The start is Sal and I will sit down and we will review them. And then we will review with legal counsel and we will move forward from there.
Right. Unless something critical comes up between now and September 9th, we will not be meeting until September 9th. We had already agreed last month that we would cancel the regular July and August meetings. And of course, if it becomes necessary to have a special meeting, of course, we will have that. Now, that being said, could I have a motion to adjourn, please? Thank you, John.
I'll second it.
Martha seconds. Those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. This meeting